Satsang-102. The joy of inner realization. 2nd November, 1935. This Raja Yoga that has been described and is known only by the Sadguru. Krishna revealed this secret yoga to Uddhava, and Uddhava fully understood it. Both Krishna and Uddhava had the same self-realization. Self-realization means to realize that one's self is Brahman, absolute pure consciousness. Brahman is the creator of this universe, and I am Brahman. So there was the realization of being the creator and the sustainer and the destroyer of this universe. Now Uddhava had become Krishna. Once a cowherd becomes king, his function as a cowherd ceases. What is the meaning of the statement that Uddhava became Krishna? Iron had become gold. The seeker became Brahman. All of the power of Brahman was now being held, and the seeker had become Brahman. The whole universe is he himself, the water pervading the entire world, the light in the universe, the wind animating the entire universe. He became the all-pervading space, Param Atman, that holds within itself so many vast universes, which is the consciousness of perception, the power of knowledge, and the quality of knowing, the life energy itself. He has become all of these. He is that aloneness which remains as peaceful existence after the disappearance of the world of the 5 elements, which became tired after its multifaceted internal play. He holds all of the power of Brahman. Thus the seeker has become Brahman. By mixing together and uniting all the activities of the universe, he has alone been doing all the functions of the universe, and now he is alone, doing bhajan to himself. The proof of devotion is known. The benefit of spirituality is known, and also fully known are its fruits. When one is truly free, devotion after liberation is the behavior of such a liberated one. To live as a devotee is to live in unity with God. Uddhava understood this fact, and he was overjoyed. His bliss of the jiva being Shiva knew no limits. There was the supreme joy of being united with Brahman. He had become Brahman, and he wielded the power of Brahman. He became the all-powerful Param Atman, the Supreme Self. Lord Krishna gave him the ornament of being an incarnation of God, just as a mother adorns her child with various ornaments, or just as a king is crowned and is given royal ornaments as well as power. It is not that this boon is not attainable by all, but it depends upon the faith of each one. If one's faith is that he is Brahman, then one will get the power as if he is the ruler of all, the creator of the whole world. One will get the fruit according to one's concept, and if one decides that a particular direction is east, it will be so. One cannot stay in bondage after attaining freedom. Lord Krishna had complete faith and knew that he is Brahman. He is the creator of and enjoyer of that stateless state. Only then could he wield that power, and only then could he give the power of incarnation. This siddhi, this power that Uddhava attained, is really the most mysterious state, which cannot be understood by the mind and cannot be appreciated by the intellect. Everybody interprets and accepts the meaning according to their concept. Even though one attains the knowledge of Brahman, and even though the Guru has given that knowledge, the original defect remains. How can one leave the original defect even if one has realized Brahman? Everyone wants to do this and that, and they thereby get confused and suffer a loss. Instead of being in the state and power of Brahman, that is, remaining as absolute pure consciousness, they are struck with the sense of being a limited individual, a jiva. Remain in that stateless state, which is wholly natural. When you attain the state of Brahman, remain in that. Do not accept the sense of being a jiva. Many have realized and many have the experience, but everyone experiences according to their concept. The state of incarnation, however, is not known by all. The pundits who are well versed in the Vedas have not known it. Lord Krishna gave that knowledge to Uddhava. You must also know it and get the benefit of it. Someone has asked, when Brahman is realized, how are we to enjoy it? The answer to that question is, devotion after liberation is the power of incarnation of God. All is Brahman. All of the actions in this world are only Brahman. Formerly there was a person, the me, who was imagined. Now, by listening to the teachings of Vedanta, that imaginary person is gone. He was only a product of imagination, yet he was being harassed so much. That jiva who called himself as I disappeared by the instructions of the Guru. I and you have both vanished. All of this, everything, without any doubt, is only Brahman. All actions, whatever they may be, are only Brahman, absolute pure consciousness. If the one from the 1 million is removed, what figure remains? Nothing. The counting stops. Only 0 remains. How many should we count? If one is counted, many will have to be counted. Who is proud of that which is nothing? That which is nothing is Shiva. He may get up and walk, he may do anything, still he is Shiva. There is no name that applies to inner realization. Originally it has no name, but in order to tell about inner realization, we put some name to it. It is necessary to give hundreds of thousands of names to express it, but that inner joy is as it is, unaffected. The enjoyment, the object of enjoyment, and the one who enjoys are all only Shiva. This is the state of incarnation. Understand how this is. There is a story of a devotee who was accepting the common way of spiritual practice and rituals by going to a temple every day and offering the full meal offerings to the image of Shiva, to the lingam that was in the temple. He then distributed that sacred food to the men and the various pet animals that are near the temple, then took some of it to be distributed to his relatives, and finally took some for himself. In this way, he worshipped daily and offered food to the great god, Shiva. Once, when he went to the temple, he saw a stranger sitting by the side of the lingam of Shiva. He was wearing saffron robes and had a long beard, an overgrowth of hair on his head, and he had a stick in his hand. He prostrated before this person and said some prayers according to his knowledge. The devotee was sure that the person must have been pleased with the praise, and further he was convinced that the person who was so pleased by the prayer must be Shiva himself. Therefore, he requested for that person to accept the meals offered to God. That person agreed and took the food as per request of the devotee. As the devotee had faith that that person was Shiva, he did not find it awkward that he was eating so near the lingam, and some particles of food were falling outside the dish. When the person had finished dining, he asked the devotee to collect the remnants. Without thinking that the food had already been tasted, he picked it up. The person blessed the devotee, saying, "All your wishes will be fulfilled. Now you should go away from here without any further delay." Accordingly, the devotee went home, distributing the small amounts of food to others on his way. Afterwards, that person in this temple also went away. Now, what is the difference between this devotee and God? That God was a human being, and the devotee was also a human being. But there is a great difference between the two. The inner difference is much farther than the distance between the sky and netherworld. If you see ordinarily, both are human beings. However, the self-confidence in the man in the temple is full and total, while the self-confidence in the devotee is incomplete. The self-confidence in one is as complete as in the other it is incomplete. The original roots, the birth, the development, and the state of both of them are the same. However, as there is a lack of self-confidence, the devotee is identified with his body and skin, while the man in the temple is fully imbibed with spirituality, intelligence, and the great wealth of self-realization. Identification, or pride, means that one takes on the physical consciousness, the body consciousness. Though their true nature is the same, there is a great difference. One is the mortal jiva of temporary experience, and the other is always the complete, indestructible, immortal, and total joy. This is the effect of the knowledge that is possible through the Sadguru's teaching. Even though that stateless state is attained, people are shy to say, "I am God." Only Lord Krishna said, "I am the God of gods." What was the actual difference between the seekers and Lord Krishna? Lord Rama was sitting with his wife Sita, seated on his lap, and nobody found fault with him. Lord Rama had also passed beyond the state of a seeker and had become a siddha, an accomplished one. He reached the state where consciousness loses its separateness, and there is the conviction that the whole world is permeated by God, and that everything is of the nature of the self. That is why he performed all of his actions most naturally and easily. So, why is this renunciation of actions and karma, as well as full performance of actions, not possible to be attained by men who have the attitude of only being seekers? The lack of total joy and the lack of complete self-conviction about reality is the cause. They are not able to decide what to take or what to reject, and that is why the pride of action remains. Sri Rama's identification with karma was of the nature of Brahman, and therefore he sat with Sita in his lap in front of all people. Others are not of that caliber. Sri Rama had seen through illusion, Maya. He said, "I am God. Everything takes place according to my will, so whom should I fear?" The illusion overpowers those who are afraid. The illusion was controlled by Sri Rama. He had shifted her from his head to his lap. He realized that this Maya is my servant. All are my devotees. All worship me. I am the Lord of all. I do not rise or set. I am always complete and imperishable. Self-conviction should be there with such strength as this.